KTN Entertainment News. My name is Patience Tamara, and of course, here we bring you beautiful and amazing people with beautiful stories to tell. And I'm joined by an amazing lady today. An amazing lady. I'm just going to give you the chance to introduce yourself.
Okay, so I am Wakenya, aka Kenyan Hippie. That is my stage name, if you will. I am a mom, tattooed model, entrepreneur, artist. Hey, I don't know if I could say activist, conservative activist, I guess. I activate some certain things. We'll talk about that.
And you're conservative about certain things.
Certain things, yeah.
We'll get to that. So, karibu sana. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
First of all, I love the neck piece and the earrings.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Okay, I know the first question that people are asking right now is, huyu msichana akona tattoos ngapi kwa mwili?
Oh, yeah, Jui.
You know.
For
real?
I know, but they have been asked that question. How many? I'm like, honestly, I stopped counting at 55.
Wow.
Because I was like, hi, mate. Because you lose count. Once you fit at a certain point, it's like, what's the point? You just keep getting more. So.
Okay, now what is what was like the inspiration
behind
the tattoos?
So I've always loved art. I'm an artist, so I basically love to print, draw, create, music, art, whatever. So I just said, you know what, why can't I be the canvas and have permanent art on my skin? And then I met this tattoo artist in Kenya. His name is Quems. That was back in the day. But the tattoo industry had not grown as much as it had now. So I wasn't really happy with the quality of the tattoos. When I went to the States, I met an amazing artist who could do color tattoos on my skin. And you know, dark skin with color tattoos doesn't really zikatokelezea. So I just kept going back. Then this is what the result was.
Can we call it like an addiction?
It's addictive. It's addictive, but as long as you can control it, or you know why you're doing it, and you're going to the right people, then you just do it. It's your poison. Okay, so some people like who want to draw inspiration, tattoo inspirations from maybe art and certain things. What was like the inspiration? Like this time I'm drawing this. This behind
time
mine. So not all of mine have meanings. Obviously, you want a tattoo with meaning. Like if you have so many, you just sometimes just freestyle. I'm a hippie. I love nature. I love flowers. Also, you have a lot of my pieces are floral nature pieces. I do have a few meaningful ones inspired by my mom or my cousin. Like this is a poem for an excerpt from a poem by Caroline Deritu. She's a poet. Made, her favorite Bible verse. So I love a few meaningful ones.
What about yours? Ukona
yangu yenye nimechora.
Yours.
Woi bado. I'm gonna work on that. I
so
know.
Just, you're drawing inspiration from other people.
It's interesting that I've not drawn my own tattoo. You would think I would have by now.
Yeah,
I actually paint, like I paint flowers all the time. I don't know why I've not thought of, oh, let me draw something for myself. Nope. Yeah.
Okay. Any inspiration is just from other things?
It's mostly from other things. Nature, you know, life experiences, family, values. So like I have an Arab piece here. It means beautiful dreamer in Arabic. I've forgotten the actual Arabic word, but because I'm a beautiful dreamer. I love to dream all the time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that your question has just been answered right now. In case you're asking, is it tattoos zote? She lost count at 55.
Illuminati. Ni rembo tu. Yeah.
Okay. What about the piercings though? Because I'm also saying kuna.
Oh, my piercings.
Yeah.
I've always loved piercings. My first so easy, but they ironically nilijidunga easy. High school. Me, I was in high school actually.
Okay.
The first ones, as usual, we went to the chemist with Kina Made. When we were little, we got them. In high school, I just got bored. I wanted to modify myself. We were not allowed to have earrings, obviously, in boarding school. So I would put some pins in there to doggo. Then I feature them. So I would just get bored in class and just perforate my ear. And get bored in class, perforate my ear. So, but then after, as an adult, I was like, I can go to a professional piercer. Then they
and actually get the piercings.
Exactly. So I got my belly button pierced, my eyebrow pierced. I just got this filtrum done a few weeks ago. Wow. So I just love them. I think they add a certain aesthetic.
But with that now, you know the total number, if I'm not wrong.
For the piercings,
yeah.
I can count them. Off the top of my head, no.
Okay, and what do like your parents think of Wakenya and all this art on her body?
Oh, the typical African parents, so you can imagine.
The look said it all.
My mom, so ironically, the last time they saw me, I haven't been back home until 4 years, actually 4 years now. I haven't been back home 4 years. By the time I left, I only had 2 tattoos on my back.
Wow.
To doggo, like a butterfly and some Chinese characters. I went, all these madoidos happened recently. In the last 2 years, I just got...
All of this is from 2 years?
Is from 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was going through something. This was my therapy. So. So Made, I was kind of easing her into it because I was like, if I show up at home and I'm this covered, and she has no idea, there'll be like a shock factor. So I would take selfies and I'd send them deliberately showing some tattoos. Hey, Made was like, jockey. what is happening? I'm like, Mom, it's just art. She's like, aye, those are many. Why are there so many? But eventually it's like, Mom, it's my body. And I was like, Mom, who's the craziest child of yours? It's me. Why are you surprised? She was like, you have a point. So she stopped bugging me about it.
Okay, now apart from the photos, when you came back home now,
Yeah.
and your mother saw you and is like, okay, now this is 3D.
Right,
This is
this is
standing
it
in
here.
front of me. Yeah. And with all that, like, haikukuwa Photoshop or anything.
Right.
How was her reaction like?
Honestly, I think they missed me too much to care. They were too busy hugging me, like, oh my God, we've missed you. But every now and then I'll catch Father like staring. Because I'm like, Baba, he's just looking, I'm sure he's looking at the tattoos going, that's permanent. But they haven't said anything. I could probably ask them. Like, I'll do a video just to spoof them and go, Mom, Dad, what do you think of my tattoos? And I'll catch them in the act and I'll see what their feedback is. But they're like, so to them, it's just like your body. It's not our thing. We wish you didn't have them, but you're our daughter. We still love you, and it's your money and it's your life.
Okay.
So that's the attitude, I think.
Okay.
I mean, mother said they were beautiful. Said they are beautiful, but they're too many.
Okay, they had to like ease in kidogo.
This is kidogo.
Okay, now what about like the school side of things? I know the work side of things, you know.
Right.
Ever like going to apply for a job and then they're telling you with all this.
Oh, like it's now there is that stigma, unfortunately, and I hate that. Even in the States, you'd think being a first world country, they've gone past this, so it's still there. Now it's becoming a bit more accepted. Doctors, surgeons are getting tattoos. Dentists, you have tattoos when you manga automatically. It's changing. However, with job interviews, they still that car. They're like, oh, if you have a face tattoo, we won't employ you, which I would see why. My most visible one is the neck. Now, luckily, I'm self-employed, so I don't really care. My clients who work with me, so I deliberately made a video, an introduction video, because I'm a freelancer. So in the website I'm on, clients can watch a video of me before they hire me. So they kind of have an idea of how many tattoos I have. So if they don't want to work with me, they don't bother reaching out to me. You know, now if you want me to hide my tattoos, then I probably shouldn't be working with you, because that means you're close-minded. You know, look at what iko hapa na hapa, see.
What you're seeing
Exactly.
physically. Okay, now still on the tattoo beta, because it's something that is actually standing out.
That's true.
And then we also incorporate like the dreadlocks inside. Has there been a point that Wakenya has actually been profiled out here? Because one, you have dreadlocks, you have piercings, you have tattoos.
Like mga full
Especially
full on.
ukoju.
Okay, honestly, in the States, if anything, they find it fascinating. One, because like I said, with dark skin tattoos, it's quite a niche industry still. Most artists either are afraid to or don't want to learn to work on dark skin when it comes to color tattoos especially. So for mine to be like well done, I get a lot of compliments, a lot of stares. Oh, did you work? Nini nini. But with the aesthetic, I'm always just getting stared at. I'm gonna be able to, hey, you look nice, nini nini, because that's a unique look. Like you said, there's the dreadlocks. They're being more acceptable now, so it's not a big deal. It's more fascinating than anything. So the stigma is not really there, not that I've seen anyways. Yeah.
Okay. Now we move again now to the side of you're a family woman.
Yes.
You
Sana.
have a baby.
I have a baby. I have a 5-year-old. I have this one on the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Such good news.
I am very, very family oriented. Yeah.
Does your kid ever look at you and it's like, Mom, when I grow up, I want to get this? Or and what's your take on that? Because you know kids are like curious.
I know. So he loves them. His name is Coin. He actually looks at me and goes, Mommy, I like your tattoos. You know, I'm like, because I was like, I know, thanks. But he hasn't expressed the interest in getting one, because I've asked him, I was like, Baba, do you want a tattoo? He's like, I don't know. You know, but of course when he gets, now the youngest you can get a tattoo in the States is about 16 years old, depending on the state. If he insists on getting one, I want him to come to me and tell me, Mom, what should I get? I can actually advise him before he goes and makes a mistake. And he's like, oh, no, I don't like this anymore. You know, I'll be like, get something meaningful. Get a birth date, get a special date, get someone's name like your family, not a tia girlfriend, you know, so I'll just guide him. But so far, he's very open-minded. Yeah.
And you're actually okay with any of your kids? Like,
oh, yeah,
getting
I'm very
tatted?
okay with it. As long as it's an educated choice. Like I said, the worst thing you could do is go to a bad place, you get an infection, or you copy someone else's tattoo, which is something I'm very much against. I'll go get poor quality work. As long as you're guiding them, do you?
Okay. Now I want you to shock us a little bit. Huh?
Okay.
What is the most expensive tattoo that you have on your body, and how much did it cost?
Okay.
And what is that one which is, we could say, like the lowest price?
The cheapest one and the most expensive.
Yeah.
The cheapest. Does a free one count?
Let's talk about digits.
Okay, digits.
Yeah.
I have to think. Maybe this one. The smaller pieces are gonna be cheaper because they're smaller and not that detailed. That was about maybe $100. which is
That is the cheapest.
Kenya. That's the cheapest. That's the cheapest I
Around
have.
10 G's.
Around 10 G's.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most expensive one is my back piece. It goes all the way down. It's not even complete yet, but I paid $600 for that.
$600.
Haijakuwa colored bado.
So there's still like more to
There's
come.
still more to come. It has to be shaded,
Wow.
and it's an investment, Maze. I was like, it's gonna be permanent. I am going to pay for it.
Definitely.
So that's 60K.
Definitely. But it's worth it.
It is.
You know,
How much have you spent? I was like, we are not going to go there. We are not going there. So at total, I'm like, we're not counting.
I'd rather go sit down and drink that money, but you're like, no, this is an investment.
Sababu tena ukunywa alafu utakojoa. This one sticks for life. Even when you die, you want to preserve your skin. Tattoos.
Okay.
Really?
Okay, now, Sasa, you're also a model.
Yes.
How has like the modeling industry accepted you and your work of art?
Right. So now the industry I'm in is very niche because I'm in the tattooed model industry. It's not quite big. So because you've heard of commercial models, you've heard of runway models, you've heard of, but Sasa Yangu it's very niche, and really the dark scale industry. So I'm still trying to get through. I have been featured. That's why I try to kind of go out there and put myself out there. You know, I have a photo shoot. I send my photos to a magazine. They run them because I'm trying to build my portfolio. I reach out to photographers. We work together. They don't lipisha me. They just kind of time for pay. So we exchange. They grow each other's portfolio. I grow my portfolio. So I'm still trying to find a way to get into the commercial modeling industry. Because it's tricky, but I think there is a niche there. I just need to find it. But so far it's been well received. The tattoo magazines I've been featuring are mostly fair-skinned models being featured. So for me just to penya in there, I'm just like,
but you're going to make it.
Thank you.
You're going to make it. You're going to make it. So have you experienced now like a point where you get into maybe a modeling agency and you want to go and showcase what you can actually do, what you can deliver.
Right.
And you've actually received like positive feedback, like, you know what, we want you, and maybe the projects that we can actually do with you.
Oh, not yet. Only because, so most agencies have a really bad reputation in the States. Like they'll ask you for money, oh, you need to pay us this much a month to find you gigs. And then they just extort you and nothing ever comes of it. So that's why I'm trying to find out, well, how can I get into the brands and working with them directly without going through an agency. Most agencies are very happy. They're like, hey, you know, you have the look. You know, you may not have the height, but you're not doing runway modeling. But it's like, exactly. So that'll be up to me to figure out now, buyer. Because I've asked for so many photographers, like, don't go through an agency. All they'll do is make you pay and then give you false hopes and then nothing. So it's up to me basically find the actual brands I want to work with and then see what happens from there.
Like, so you're putting yourself out there.
Putting yourself out there, exactly.
Okay, now let me just put this scenario here. Let's say, for example, you've gone like to a modeling agency and they say, yes, we're going to sign you, but under one condition, you have to cover all your tattoos. You see the way they do like the makeup thingy?
I know. Like,
would you actually conform to that, or this is actually what defines Njoki?
It's a hard one. I mean, I wouldn't say no. It depends on how much it's paying.
Okay.
I will sell my soul.
It's about the zeros.
It's one of those, I'll be like, is it worth it? Like, what are you going for? If you saw the tattoos, is it just the look, my face, my, you know, is it my vibes? Then I'll just go with it. It's not a big deal, but I would want something I still want to show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's something corporate, then maybe I don't want to work with them because I'd have to cover them all the time. Maybe go find someone else who's plain. Imagine all that concealer. I have a lot of concealer on my skin, Maze.
By the way, you have to do that.
Yeah, you know.
Money.
But I mean, if it's like, it is much money, I'm like, fine, cover them. Then I will. Yeah.
Okay, I've dwelled like so much on that side. Let me take you back a little bit. Now back to the family life. So you're here with your partner.
Yes.
How is he about you and tattoos and piercings? And has it ever reached a point it's like, hey, you know what, babe, take a chill pill. Yeah, take a chill pill.
I wish you could ask him was there. He's okay with it, my babe. He's pretty open-minded about those kinds of things because they don't define who I am. They're just an extension of me. You know, there's something I love to do, and he loves me for them. Ironically, he told me he doesn't even see my tattoos anymore. Like, I mean, he's so much. He looks at the face and that's, this is Wakenya. And he's like, oh, you're tattooed. By the way, you're tattooed. That's the way he is. He doesn't really care. Actually, for like my second eyebrow piercing, he took me to get pierced. He held my hand, I was getting pierced. So, he's cool.
Very supportive of it. Very supportive of it.
Yeah, very supportive.
Okay, now when you talk about support, there's something that you ranted about on social media recently.
Oh my God.
Early last year about your baby and you not wanting actually the teachers to instill the beliefs of like Santa and the Easter Bunny. Would you tell us a bit about like that incident that happened?
See, now, so Americans are huge on imaginary things. Okay, so I don't know why. It's Santa, Easter Bunny, which doesn't make sense to me because an egg and a bunny. I'm not seeing the Easter chicken that made more sense, you know, or the bunny with a carrot. But anyway, then there's the tooth fairy, and they like. I don't know why, it's like a cultural thing. They layer their kids thinking there are things that are real, then have to break their hearts when they're old and go, oh, but that's all fake. It was me putting the gifts under the tree, it wasn't Santa. You know, I was like, in Africa we don't have that. So you grew up in Kenya, I grew up in Kenya. So my son, 2 weeks ago I think, he came back from school and he just threw up. Ile kutapika, like major. And I knew he'd eaten something because he's a very strict diet, very low sugar diet, healthy, fruit, natural, organic. I was like, what did you do? Oh, I ate something. Who gave you the something? Saint Nick. I was like, did you see him? Did you give it to you or did you find it on a plate? I just found it on a plate. I was like, so you ate something from an imaginary guy. Was that smart coin? And he goes, no, mommy, so why did you do it? Because it was Saint Nick. I was livid. I was livid. So I emailed the teacher. Then I became a Karen. I was like, I'm gonna be a Karen today. Emailed a very long email. I was like, hi, Mrs. So-and-so. I don't appreciate my son being given, first of all, what, some snacks that made him sick. But secondly, I don't want him being fed these lies that Saint Nick is real. In my culture, we do not believe in Saint Nick. He's a TV character, and that's all he is. So, and she was very good about it. She was like, we're sorry, and we'll make sure that if you don't need to participate, just let us know. And that was that. But that's because most kids, I have told you, I have friends who have to tell their kids, oh, honey, Santa is not real. Then there's a whole crying. I'm like, sasa nyinyi mnafanya watoto nini sasa? Why? It's unnecessary. Okay,
but Tessa, considering the fact that your kid actually mingles with other kids,
yeah,
whose culture actually has like that belief, like Santa is real, and we have the Easter Bunny, we have the Tooth Fairy. How do you think, like as a parent, you're going to enable your kid not to actually be?
He's going to have to burst that bubble. He's going to have to burst their bubble.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. This whole thing at the Tooth Fairy left me money. Please, the economy is very bad. You know, and if it's gifts, I want you to earn it. But all of you could just deserve a gift because it's Christmas. No, what did you do to deserve the gift? Mom, you worked hard, Dad, you worked hard, we bought you this gift together. Don't ruin it.
Okay. Now, basing now our conversation on that, on social media, like recently when you joined TikTok, you have like a huge following on TikTok.
Yeah, I have a
you know, and you talk a lot about culture and
gatekeeping.
Exactly, all those things.
Racism.
Yeah. Now, considering the fact that you actually talk about culture, for example, and people embracing their culture.
Yes.
Don't you at some point feel, or has someone ever at some point told you that, you know what, you cannot be like here pushing on culture and gatekeeping, yet you're the one who's actually telling people, you know what, Santa does not exist, so stop instilling that in your kids.
Right, as a cultural thing. Because to me, it's, I know that's a very good question. Because, I don't know, if you're going to break someone's heart over a cultural element, and it's not really ours. See, just because I'm an American, because I'm American, it doesn't mean I have to grasp every and embrace every cultural element there is. I love some elements in their culture, some I don't. You know, so I don't have to ascribe to them. I can recognize them, but I don't ascribe to them. It's just like our culture. As a Kenyan, I want to share my culture with Americans. They don't have to embrace each and every of the aspects. Like, you like waist beads? Embrace them. Just know what they mean and why we wear them. Don't just go and nyakwa what you want. But if they decide, oh, I don't like this aspect, I'll be like, oh, whatever, that's, you do you.
Okay, now the point of waist beads, because waist beads is something that has been touched on a lot on your page. I would tell the people what are waist beads about and
why.
Exactly, because it's
that question was, and the worst part, it's been gatekept so much. And it's always gatekept on basis of skin tone. So I say it's racism because I'm like, kama angekuwa a Jamaican, want you to wear waist beads, would you say no to them? No. Why are you saying no to this white guy? Because he's white. Why? They are white Africans. So what, you know? So waist beads for us, honestly, I started wearing mine when I was in my 20s, I think, in college, and just for beauty for the most part. I know in West Africa, they want for other reasons. Uganda, it's, you know, a sign of femininity, it's fertility, it's, you know, you're celebrating, or you're kind of measuring your waist for your weight, and it's all that stuff, and it's just, it's not a big deal. So when you hear people saying, oh, am I allowed to wear waist beads? And they're yelled at for wearing waist beads. I'm like, no, you guys really, I'm even dreadlocks.
Oh, yeah.
You wear dreadlocks, oh, you need to remove those, they don't belong to you.
Thing.
I'm like, and that's why we have fights online, especially with Black Americans, not all of them, just the ones who are woke. Because they want to gatekeep them. I'm like, we don't own locks. Even Africans don't own locks. They were all over the world. including India. Nitigana na ado, ninywele. By the way, something I've actually taught my ninis that my American followers, it's so funny, even made t-shirts that say Tika Maodo. I told them, leave people alone. You know, then they're like, what does Tika Maodo mean? I told them, it means stop the nonsense. Because I'm like, this is nonsense. Gatekeeping is nonsense. Because what are you doing? Then I was like, you guys gatekeep stuff. Kenyans can't sell stuff online. Because Americans are afraid to buy them. Because you guys are woke and you're gatekeeping. Who are you hurting? The Kenyan industry, the Kenyan market, which doesn't belong to you because you're not African.
Wow.
You're Black American.
Okay, now we get the activist part. Okay, now what actually inspired you to or what triggered? Yeah, like, you know what? This is what I'm going to start doing right now.
It was so weird. So you know how we joined TikTok? I was one of those, I'm like, I'm not joining nothing. First of all, what is TikTok? Then I'm watching, I'm like, I'm not dancing on a camera all day. What? For whom? Like, I'm like, then what? What is the benefit of this crap? But then now Black is King came out. Black is King. And one of my clients, ironically, she's Black American. We don't work together anymore. But she came to me, she was like, Wakenya, as a Kenyan, how do you feel about Black is King? I was like, haven't even watched it. She was like, go and watch and come give me some feedback. I did. We had a very nice discussion. She was like, I feel like they were appropriating African culture. I feel like Beyonce was showing herself as above everyone. I was like, yeah. So I took that on TikTok. So there's a Facebook conversation between Kenyans and Black Americans. So there was a heated argument there. Because Kenyans are like, just because you think you're African, because of your roots, doesn't make you African. It doesn't make you allowed to speak on African issues. So you can't say, oh, Black is King, and there's an amazing movie. If an African tells you it's been Wakandanized, it's been Wakandanized. But there was a huge argument. I took that to TikTok. Hey, my God. There was some heat, a lot of fire. I was told, oh, you're causing division, agake. We all love it. I was like, yeah, you love it as an American because you don't know how Africa is. Because you accept this woo-woo-woo fantasy world that's portrayed. You don't know how we live. How
things are, yeah.
But when I tell you how it is, you get mad. They were attacking me. And at the time, I was actually kind of supporting BLM at the time. They started now turning on me because I disagreed with that cultural aspect. They turned on me. So that's why the kind of division side kind of happening, and then the activism side happening, because other things started coming out of it. It was so very interesting because it happened nothing to do with BLM, nothing to do with politics. But that's how that began.
And you decided now it's time.
Now it's time, and then I was like, as an American, and then you know, I was kind of chini ya maji with American politics. Didn't really bother with it, but because I realized it involves me, and as an immigrant, I'm told, oh, you're supposed to be oppressed, you're supposed to be hurting. I'm like, but I'm not. Oh, the police will shoot you, but they don't. I'm like, there's like some disparities here, and I was like, I felt the need to speak out. Then that kind of started, and then I met that guy. So everything is tied together. Yeah.
Okay, now speaking in terms of that, there was a time you were for the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes.
And then it reached a point you were like,
I was like, I'm walking away.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, could you tell us like what actually triggered that apart from the incident that happened online? Yeah.
So it's okay. So I had a friend. A friend is a loose term, more like a client, and he knew I was very BLM and he's very conservative. He just told me, Wakenya, you have an open mind, right? Yes. Can you read this article I'm going to send you? And he was like, don't catch feelings, just read the article without my mind. I know you're not going to agree with it, but just read it. I was like, ah. And I'm just going to be anti-BLM. But I was like, okay, I promised I will have an open mind. I'm an open-minded person. I got this. So I read the thing, and I was not happy. I was just like, how dare you? I was like, you're white. You have no right to speak on Black lives. I was that guy. Oh God, I was that guy. Now I'm the other guy. But anyway, so I went and I was like critically thinking about it. I was like, and now that marrying with what was going on TikTok made sense to me. I was like, the community pretends they're united. They're not. They're kind of united, but only into toxicity. I was like, the community itself has a cultural issue. This lack of education is cultural. This kukosaku respect makarao is cultural. I was like, I grew up in Kenya and we have asshole cops, forgive my French. Our cops like to abuse power. They will target you. Is it racism? No, it's not. We're all the same skin tone. It's just a matter of complying. Jifanye mpole. You know, just comply with the cops. I was like, you guys make this a matter of racist because the media shows you that. Then I told them the media manipulates you. You go with it. You don't try. Why don't you think for yourself critically? George Floyd was not an innocent man. He was a criminal. But then no, he has a whole statue. You know, approved just for him. You know, then I was like, and then when you speak out, they get mad at you. Now, when I noticed other Black conservatives were coming out and saying I don't support BLM just because I'm Black, I was like, oh, I'm not the only one. And then now I became more strengthened in my values and beliefs. Yeah.
And as a person who's living like abroad,
yeah,
have you experienced that kind of maybe
racism? And now here's an interesting point. I made a TikTok about this and I got a lot of hate from even Africans in the States. I made a video saying I've experienced more prejudice from black Americans than I've experienced racism from whites. And that video blew up because everyone was like, oh my God, you're right. The other ones are like, oh, how dare you? And I was like, but it's true.
But give us a scenario now, like.
Okay, so one day I was with my son at the park. This is one of the scenarios. This was years ago. And he's obviously mixed. His dad is white as snow. So, to kind of park. And there was this family of like a black family playing. The little kid came to play with my son. Her mom was just like, she said, going livid. Oh, get away from that person. And then she pulled her away. And I was like, did I do something? I tried to talk to her, she just dismissed me completely. She's like, keep your son away from me. I was like, they are kids. Like, he's 3. Like, what do you know? It was just one incident. It happened a few times. I don't know. And I was like, you guys are so full of hate and vitriol. I didn't do anything to hurt you, but you treat me like this. You know? Then they were going to screaming racism, but you're the ones being prejudiced against Africans. And then I've also experienced a lot of xenophobia. A lot of it. You'd be surprised. When you disagree with them, I've been called the N-word by a black person. I've been told to go back to my country by a black person. I was like, this is my country and Kenya is mine, so which one are we talking? You know, but it has happened.
Yeah.
And then they make you think the other party is the one that's racist. Oh, Republicans are racist. They're the ones who welcomed me. They're like, welcome to America, you're one of us. We don't care where you're from, you're one of us. Aren't you such racists? It's very backwards. So just all those, between my individual experiences, my friends' experiences, and just looking at the way things were going, that's what made up my mind. I was like, BLM is not about black lives. And it happens every 4 years around the election. Then it goes quiet.
Okay, now let me put now a scenario for you, because you mentioned George Floyd, and that is something that stirred up like a lot worldwide.
Nationwide, yeah, you know, that was worldwide.
I know. You know.
I know.
So I'm just like, if the same thing could have happened or would have happened to someone who's close to you, someone whom you know,
right?
You know, would you still have the same sentiments, the same beliefs, the same opinions?
Yes, you know why? Because it's not about feelings, it's about fact. Was he complying with the cops? If it's a no, then cheza na moto utachomwa. You know why? So that thing of the way you're feeling, that's how I used to feel. I was like, how dare you speak out? He was a black man, he's just minding his own business. He was not minding his own business, he's a criminal. And I'm not saying there's no wrongful death that happens.
But the justice system has proved it different, because Derek has already been sentenced.
Honestly, that's true.
You know?
So that's the justice system has its own issues. It does, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. I think it's an individual thing. I see so it's up to you and how you carry yourself. You can determine the end of the. This is an example. If you meet a new cop, like a new policeman, he's very new to the force. He doesn't know how to people relate. He's kind of iffy with you. You have a gun on you. Who's in charge of that situation? Is it you or him? It's you. It's you. It's up to you to decide. I'm gonna tell him where my gun is, so he doesn't think I'm gonna shoot him. So when I touch anything, he doesn't think I'm reaching for anything. You take a mikono juu on my wheel. I'll be like, cop, there's a gun over there. So it's you. Do you wanna grab it for yourself? Because I don't want to grab, and then you shoot me thinking I'm going. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's part of gun safety. It's part of how do you relate to a policeman. And I've had an experience with police armed, which is another thing I tell people. Why am I not dead? If they shoot me for being black, why did I not die? I had a gun on me, and it was usiku, and there were like 5 cars, 5 patrol cars. Why am I still here? It's the way I carried myself. Even if you're in the wrong, even if you're in the right, it's the way you carry yourself. Jitulie, just bring yourself down, make the best of that situation. You can pursue justice, but you can sue whoever you want to sue. But in that moment in time, you need to be wise. But
now let me ask you a question. Yeah. I'm still going to dwell there. I saw the video that circulated like online of the time that George Floyd was actually murdered, you know?
Yeah.
The video that circulated online. If you're in a position like that, do you think that you are the one who was actually in power, or
as the cop or as
a victim?
Okay.
Do you still have the power to be like, it's okay, surrender?
Yes. I would still want to surrender for the better, because I'm thinking ahead. Is it easier to fight, or is it just to say, you know what, you do what you need to nipeleke jail, at least I'll be in one piece. You can always call a cop from in there, you can get paralegal when you're in there, you can call family in there, but at least you're alive. Start bishaning. Most of the people I saw, every time, all my friends, TikTok friends, who made videos, they're like, they even record them right on the spot. They're like, there's a cop behind me. We just talked, he let me go on a warning. I'm black, why was I not arrested? Why was I not hurt? Why was I not hurt? Because I was complying. It's a matter of going like, why? What's the difference between you and the other guy who fights when he's told pull over, and I'm not pulling over, get out of the car, I'm not getting out of the car? what do you think, what's going to happen? They're going to resist.
So according to you, the main issue is that, can I say blacks or are a bit, they dwell too much on the fact that the Black Lives Matter movement is there and consider themselves victims. Did you actually say that?
That's the perfect, yes. They are brought up. So imagine you have a child who's like, let's say 5, probably my son's age. You bring him up telling him your skin tone will make you a target. Because you're black, you need to be careful with cops because they will kill you. Because you're black, you will not get a job. Because you're black, white people are going to hate you. Imagine how they grow up. That same mentality. That's why when they see a cop, they want to resist, they want to run. I'm like, he's not going to hurt you, even if he's let's just assume he's a bad cop, he's a crooked cop. Jitulie, just be the smarter one. The way you deal with him will determine the outcome of that situation. But they're not taught that. They're taught they hate you. You need to resist. You need to say it's my right. Start recording him. Okay. How has that worked out so far?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's almost a victimhood / pride. My guy explains it really well. It's like you're brought up. Your skin tone is everything. It's why I don't get along with them because they tell me, oh, you don't like being black. I'm like, actually, I love being black. It's just not my identity. It's a part of me. I mean, we see most of it. I'm brownish and I'm chocolate. I call myself chocolate because I'm like black is like that smooth. That's black. I'm like, and this is black. I'm not black. I was like, and even if I were, it's just a part of me. It's not who I am. I don't make decisions because of my skin tone. I don't say, oh, I'm black, so I'm going to buy from a black business. I'm black, so I'm going to date black. I'm black, so I'm going to go to a black college. It's so weird, but they are victims. At the same time, they're very prideful in the way they look and who they are. So they're like a quorum. It's just a quorum of toxicity, honestly. And anything outside of that is not liked. Even their own black Americans will say, I'm not black and I'm not African American, I'm just American. That's all I am. They're hated. They're called to name names like Uncle Tom, Sijui Nini, Sijui Sambo, Coon. I've been called a coon. I accepted it, I embraced it. Because when you embrace a Kamatusi, it stops having power.
Yeah,
Same thing.
Okay, so now since you've actually mentioned that, considering like your beliefs and your practice, we're still going to go to the part of where you are a conservative. Because we said you're going to do that.
Yes.
So later on is about to come.
Okay.
Has there been a point, or what has been your experience like with your beliefs, putting them out there, like the backlash, the love, the hate, and how do you handle all that?
Yes, that's a good question. Hey, the backlash was a lot. A lot. I feel like I was coming out of the closet because I feel like I already had conservative values because we're Kenyans. Africa is very conservative, as you know, like viewpoints on like abortion or religion or family values is very, very conservative. Then you get to the States, then you start to do backsliding, if you will, start becoming kind of very, very liberal. And liberal is the opposite direction of what I am now. So when I took my stand as, hey, I'm a conservative and I voted for Trump, there was both love and hate. The conservatives accept you. They're like, you know what, we don't care. As long as you understand this country, you love this country, you're pro-America, we love you. The other side is like, how dare you, you're black. This man hates you, he called your country a shithole. Agake. I'm like, I don't like him. Identity politics comes into play. It's like, oh, because I look like this, I'm going to vote this way. This guy is cool, I'm going to vote for him. I'm like, I don't care about Trump. I really don't. I'm not a Trumpy or a Trumpstar or a Trump cult. I just love his ideologies about America. I love what he wants for America. That's why I voted for him. You know what I'm saying? But they don't grasp that. Like, still, that's like, but he's an asshole. I'm like, but he's a nice guy for America, though. You're not getting it. So there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of life threat. My life was threatened online. So I started kind of carrying a gun.
So you started taking like...
I started taking freaking gun safety because I was like, you never know if it's an empty threat or it's real. You know, you never know. So I was like, and I was single at the time, just me and my son. Kwa nyumba. I was like, if someone were to tokelezea here and try something, we're done. So I was like, I must go take some gun safety lessons. If I will upload one video of me shooting, they leave me alone. And most of it died off, but still, they're like, I'm like, come to my house.
Okay, but that was online, right?
That was online.
Still, safety
in person,
is something
it's
in
never
person?
happened, not once. Not once have I been threatened in person.
But in case it happens now, you're ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why we call them keyboard warriors. And you are taught to, for the most part, trolls are actually young people. They're young, it can make 17, 18 years olds. I'm like, why are you not in school? Why are you online harassing adults? Because they're speaking out on stuff you do. You know, like, go back to school, focus. So it's ridiculous. But yeah, so it was both sides. I felt accepted. Actually, for the first time in my life, I felt proud to be an American citizen. Because I only got it like 2 years ago. I'm a very fresh green citizen. But I felt accepted. I was like, oh my God, you guys, they're like, hey, you're a dual citizen, you're still American. you're very pro-America, and that's why I got so many. Overnight, I got like 40,000 followers because of that. Because I came out and I told Black Americans, stop, leaning on the legacy of your ancestors. Do your own thing. Stop being lazy. Watu walikasirika. Hey, you're calling all of us lazy. I was like, if it applies to you personally, if it doesn't, why are you getting mad at me? Or I work, I have a job. I'm like, then this doesn't apply to you. So why are you catching feelings? How dare you speak out to you? You're Kenyan. I'm like, I'm Kenyan American. And everything they say, they get mad. I'm like, African American means you're assuming Africans are black. Black is African, African is black. I'm like, that's not right. I am African American, literally, because I'm a dual citizen. So is Elon Musk. So I'm like, you're just American with maybe African descent. Just because when you're Mweusi doesn't mean you're African. And they hate hearing that. They get mad. Hey, so.
Unakasirisha watu
Nakasirisha. Every time I make a video, people are like, okay, can I make people mad? I'm like, yeah. Because I'm used to it by now. Sometimes I even just do it for fun, just to annoy them, because I know they're going to get annoyed and catch feelings. The other day I did a video, I said, who's the richest African American? Then I put Elon Musk in the background. They were like, they're going to be mad.
Umeguza kidonda. So sometimes you like do it intentionally.
Sometimes obviously I just do it for fun. I mean, it's true, but I just do it for fun. So I'm like, let's see, 3, 2, 1, triggered. And then they just come at me. Oh, you're even with a white man. I'm like, how is that debating my point? You've not said anything to add to my point. You've insulted me, but you've not added to my point. What is the point here? Then they just go away eventually. That's what they do.
Actually, that is another thing. So online, the people have mentioned the fact that oh, you're with a white guy, and you're here preaching on social media about the Africans and culture and stuff like that. How does your partner actually take in all the comments that regard him?
Oh, he's first of all, he's on his own. He has his own legacy of being hated because he's a very logical, rational person. So he breaks things down. So he made this skit about BLM and how, because their arguments they never make sense. Until I'm black, I can't be racist. They're like, but you can, and it's, so he already had his own, so I met and I loved his content because he had his own platform. So they already hated him as it is. We came together, now it's like double hate. It's like, oh, African hippie and the hypocrite. It's like, oh, hell no. So he's used to it. Sometimes even he replies, I'm like, baby, when I make a video, he's like, yeah, let's do this.
On your channel?
On my channel, because he lost 6 accounts. Because they cancel him every time. So mad, they mass report him. TikTok, the way it is, the algorithm is really, really sucky. They'll just shut down your account to be left for investigation. Because there was like 6,000, 10,000 people reporting your account. Because they got their feelings triggered. You're shut down. So you could appeal the decision. They might say yes, but for the most part, they just leave it gone. So, yeah, he's used to it. And he backs me up on everything because we see things the same. We keep telling them, see the way you're calling him white, you're being racist. Why you calling him rangi kwanini? He's not a color, he's a person.
Okay, now that is another thing. Ukunje, it's actually like, I cannot come inside a room and I say, call for me that black girl. Or call for me that white girl.
Right.
What's like your take on that, considering that there's someone who told me, that is just a color. If you look at me, this is my skin tone. If you say, call that fair skinned girl here, then I'll come.
Right. Right.
What's your take on people actually being...
like described using their skin tone?
Yeah, using their skin tone, or what defines them? Kama msekisema, niti ule de makona tattoo pale. Does it like make you feel some type of, or you're like, say, have tattoos after all and you're calling me, so I'm gonna come.
Right. I don't think it's an issue if you're not using it as your full identity. Like, how do I put this? People in America who are obsessed with their skin tone are the ones who have issues with race. Because all they see is black and white. Like, that's all they see. When you're black, you're one of my people. You're my people. You're white, you're not my people. You're the oppressor and the colonizer. And it's ridiculous the way they think. Because you guys are not colonized, you were sold. It's a difference. Learn your history. But it depends on where you're coming from. If it's raw safi, like, hey, that's why I apparently on TikTok I kind of came up with this naming system. I was like chocolate and vanilla. I was like, you're not black, you're chocolate, and he's not white, he's vanilla. Because people are like, we can celebrate each other using flavors instead of separating each other using color. So I don't mind if someone says, oh, call for me that dark skin girl over there. I'm like, whatever, as long as haina nini. I think it's the intent behind it. Now, if you only see me as, oh, there was this black girl in our class, I'm like, why can't you just say my name? Just say Wakenya or that tattooed girl. There's more to me than just my color, which is why I say we are not colors. We even have merchandise that says we are not colors because of that. Because I got so tired of, and America has a huge issue with that. Oh, I'm black. I'm like, no, I'm African. But sometimes they get mad, they're like, oh, but you're black. No, but I'm not, I'm African. I was like, if you came to my continent and understand why we do that, we celebrate our ethnicity, we celebrate our tribes, we celebrate our Kenyanness. We don't celebrate that most of us are dark skinned anyway, so that's not a descriptor. In the States it's another story. It is hey, it's like a pandemic, it's a pandemic over there. Yeah. And if you do not accept that you're black, then oh, we've taken away your race card, or we don't claim you. I'm like, I'm not a bag of potatoes to be claimed.
I think that is like the biggest part, accepting.
Accepting. I'm like, I don't care if you accept me. I'm like, I'm my own person. Why do I give a crap? Actually, I don't claim you. Oh, I'm like, you guys. And I'm supposed to be heartbroken that you unclaimed me. I'm not yours to claim. I'm not a good. I'm like, I'm not a slave to be picked. And then now they go quiet. Oh, how dare you? So.
That's the thing.
It's pretty serious.
Okay, now, as a person who has lived in Kenya before,
yes,
you know, have you ever, or do you think us as Kenyans, let alone like Africans,
right,
we emit some sense of racial discrimination, especially to the vanilla people, you know?
Where huku ama huko?
Huku, tukiwa huku.
Oh, really?
Most of the time.
I don't think so. I mean, of course, I can't group everyone, right? I'm pretty sure there are Kenyans who are racist. I'm pretty sure there are, because they're not one big group. But the way where I grew up, I went to Kilimani Primary. I went to school with Wazungu kids. I went to school with mixed kids. I went to school with Indian kids. I never saw them as anything special more than me. I never saw them as anything lower than me. It was also just on the same playing field. We're all just human beings chilling with different hair types. You know, that curiosity of, oh, but your hair is straight, let me touch it, you know? Oh, your hair is kinky, let me touch it. But it was never, I don't feel like we have that sense. I feel like you just mind your own, you do you, let me do me.
Yeah.
I think that's how Kenyans are. In the States, the way they are brought up, because they're brought up, they're very close-minded, but they're so close. Those people, I feel bad for them. So you taught you are black, therefore we do not mix with white people. Oh, let me catch you dating a white man.
It becomes
in Kenya,
an
most
issue.
parents are like, I don't give a crap if you want to date a mosquito, you do you. You know, as long as you're happy. Uko, it's, oh, he's white, don't bring him home. It's actually a serious thing to this day. And it breaks my heart because most people are like, oh, I can't be with you because you're white.
Do you have like personal experience with that? Have you ever like been in that particular position where you felt racially discriminated?
Nope.
Or like you cannot date someone because...
Never. It's actually that's the opposite, ironically. Sorry, babe. One time I went to San Diego for an event, and I was even asking someone, I was like, it's like vanilla guys seem to be just attracted to me. I'm not sure why, because I go like I'm at a bar, right, alone. There's the black guy there, there's an Indian guy there, there's a white guy there. The only guy who will approach me is the white one. Then I was like, is that like, do I meet some kind of vibes? Then someone said it's your look. They're like, you don't look ghetto. And I'm gonna get smack for that.
Okay.
They're like, if you look ghetto, then you are going to attract the ghetto because you look a certain way, you speak a certain way, you attract a certain person. And that's why most kids are like, oh, you like white men. I was like, actually, no, I just love open-minded people who share my values. It just happens to be not ghetto people.
You know, speaking okay. Point home. Okay, so in regards to that, is it how you met your +1, Ama?
Well, we met on TikTok.
Wow.
So
okay.
I know so he had his own account. I was already following him because I saw him. The way I wish you could hear him talk. The way he breaks things down, it's like it makes sense, but you never thought of it that way. You're like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. You know, you don't have to agree with it, but it makes sense. So I just followed him, and then apparently he had his own account and his own content, and he said, hey, if you guys know any other creators, you know, could you please tag them? Then I was tagged. Then he checked on me. He said I was already following him. Said following each other. So I would duet a lot of his videos. I was like, oh my god, yes, thank you, duet. Then we started talking. Then I can invite to a podcast yake. And then I was going through some stuff in my relationship at the time, and then we talked. He came and rescued me and my son from that toxic situation, and one thing led to another, and here we are. But it had nothing to do with kingdom, literally values. Like you just, you know, you just mesh with someone. Then you're like, ooh, okay, let's do this.
Wow.
So we know each other personally and fell in love, and this happened.
Congratulations once again, by the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, now there's one thing that we have not like touched on.
Okay.
And I hope you don't find this offensive.
No, go ahead.
In regards to religion.
Okay. Oh no, go ahead. My mom, please don't be watching this.
In regards to religion,
yeah.
what is your take on religion? By the way, let's just
as a whole.
There. As a whole, first of all, and then now we go back to the part where you are Muslim and the reason as to why you decided to come to this, and you said,
I was like,
That's not gonna happen.
I'm
Yeah.
done. Oh. So, another argument we had. But so religion in Africa, I feel, has been just exploited to manipulate masses and make money. I was telling someone the other day, it was like a few years ago, I was like, you want to make money quick in Kenya, become a pastor, open up a church. Because utasema tu utaenda kwa Biblia sema, oh, pandeni, yeta kuna nini seed, what is a seed called in nini?
Mbegu.
Panda mbegu, oh, plant a seed, please plant a big seed. You get donations, and then poop, you go build yourself a mansion. Meanwhile, your church goers are like walking to church, walking kilometers to church because they can't afford a freaking bicycle. You know what I'm saying? So that for me was always, and I had a talk with my guy about this. He was like, it's not the religion that's bad, it's the church, it's the establishments that misinterpret the Bible and make people think, you know, that cultish, prideful thing they do. So, and it's true. Because I got picked on so much when I was younger in church. Nimeenda kuimbia, nimeenda kudance. I'm in the front of the church, I'm dancing. I'm called off the stage. At oh, you're dressed this way, you can't sing. I'm like, but I'm singing for God, why do you care?
About my dressing, yeah.
You know, it was, and I also felt picked on. So it was really like a thing. I was like, plus I was super sheltered as a child. Super sheltered. I'm talking, I didn't hear devil music until I was like 10. And that was an accident. Father was like, atusikizi nyimbo za shetani hapa kwa hii nyumba.
The secular music.
Hey, to come Ron Kenoli, Michael Smith, that was it. So it was really funny to make a transition. But then, so in, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but in most of it is the hypocrisy of it all. It's the self-righteousness. Oh, I'm better than you. You are a sinner and I am the holy one. And then they're doing exactly the same thing. I'm like, you know, that critical thinking comes in. Then now in high school, I had a Muslim friend, and I loved the way she prayed. Like I look at her praying, I'm like, that looks so cool. You know, then they sujood, and then I was like, Mother found out, she freaked out. She was like, you're going to drop this like a hot potato. Weekly, yes, ma'am. So I stopped. College, I went to Daystar. We studied Islam. Was one of the the courses. You know how it is, how you convert. I was like, it sparked me again. So right after college, I converted to Islam because I felt connected to it. I felt like it was more genuine in a way than Christianity, the way I'd seen it, the way I'd experienced it. The only issue I had with Islam was the whole Jesus thing, because he's a prophet. Christianity is the part of the Trinity. It was always something that bugged me. I could not live in peace. Everything else made sense to me except for that one thing. So eventually, after about a year, I was like, I don't really believe religion anymore, and I couldn't go back to Christianity because I was like, I was like, there's got to be something out there that makes sense to me, that I can embrace, that I don't feel judged or looked down on, and I'm going to go to hell if I don't do this, and I won't go to hell if I don't go. So I found neo-paganism with time. I watched The Secret, Law of Attraction. I was like, that makes sense. Then pole I found paganism, crystals, healing, and so I became a hippie. I was like, I'm going to pull from nature. If I'm stressed out, it's not I don't believe in God, I believe He's alive, He's there. But I just don't pray to Him, I don't go to church, I just believe in a higher power, and He created nature. I love nature. I let nature heal me. So that's how it's been so far.
Now, you mentioned your mama freaked out once because of that. Does she actually know that you're into neo-paganism, and what is her take on that?
No.
Yes and no. Mama had Jewish.
She knows. I hope she doesn't watch this. Okay, so I don't get so much trouble. Okay. She confronted me ironically after Steve Wren, after he read the article. Mother saw it. I said, okay, did you backslide? I was like, Mom, it's complicated. She was like, uncomplicated for me. So I was like, okay, I'm a pagan who still believes in God. Like, I believe He's alive. I worship Him in my own way. I was like, Mom, kumka like African traditional religion. They were facing Mount Kenya, Mount Kirinyaga, they were nini. I was like, it's something like that. It's almost like I'm kind of employing elements of Christianity, but with paganism, just focusing more on nature. She was like, oh, okay, then she dropped it.
She's never mentioned about it again?
Nope.
Okay, now what is like your, because as much as you're into neo-paganism, as you said,
right.
You draw like, for example, like the traditional side of things, huh?
Right.
People would face the mountain and pray or do something like that. Now, what is like your worship kind of routine like?
Oh, my routine, it's interesting. So I don't really worship. I just look to myself. I look to the universe for like support, signs, for, like say if you're feeling drained, I have crystals. Crystals are natural occurring. So they have energy and they draw energy. So if you're feeling some kind of way and you have crystals around you, they'll absorb your negative energy. If you charge them in the moon and put them around you, they actually add energy to you, depending on what you're looking for. So that's kind of where I go with that. So I just give myself time, and I try to meditate at least a few times a week. Sometimes I forget because of my schedule. But essentially, it's a big part of that. It's just meditation. It's putting stuff into existence. It's called setting intentions. So there's a full moon, I make sure I meditate, I write down some intentions, which are like goals, kinda, but you're speaking them as if they're happening right now. You know, I thank the universe for this. Like, it's already happened. I think, you know, so this baby actually manifested before I got pregnant. I was like, thank God for like I'm pregnant right now. It was like it was already happening. It hadn't happened yet. Probably happened around that time, but you basically believe it's gonna happen. It's the law of attraction. And then it happens, and you know what I'm saying. So it's more like nature. It's just nature, more than at oh God, I'm thankful for. It's more like it's not like I don't acknowledge him. I do. I just don't pray to him. Like I won't go and say, God, thank you for this day. And it's just he made nature. I worship nature, which he made. So.
And okay, considering the fact that before now, when it comes to like religion, you changed from being a Christian to a Muslim, and then you still went back to Christianity, kind of, yeah,
but not,
yeah. Then you're into a neo-paganism.
Which
you
is,
feel like there's a time in Africa and you're like, Wakenya, tricks. Let's go back to Christianity.
I don't think I'm going back to Christianity.
And is it like the same thing you're going to install like in your kids?
That's a good question. My son meditates with me sometimes. He doesn't know why. He just knows it relaxes us. But if when he's older and he goes like, where are my options? I'll tell him what his options are. My guy is Christian, you know, my fiance. And even he's not like one of those fanatical ones. He just has his own thing. Because again, it's the Bible. He believes it's more of a personal relationship with God rather than with other people, with fellowship, with church. You know, it's not an association with a church that makes you a good Christian. It's the way you treat people. It's, you know what I'm saying? So we'll just expose him to all these elements, and then he'll make up his mind. I won't push anything on him.
Okay, we've dwelled too much on your mother, by the way. You know, African fathers
she made me, so you know.
You know, African fathers have that thing of, huyu mtoto amepotea.
Hey, I know my dad feels that way.
Yeah, so what was your father's take on it?
My dad has not even mentioned. I don't even know if he knows. Okay, father's really out of the loop. Okay, poor guy. Because my mom is on TikTok, which if I knew what account she was on, I would block her, but I don't. She just watches them. She say, oh, I was catching up on your TikToks. I'm like, crap. Did you see the one? You know, my dad is not anywhere, so he probably doesn't even know about my neo-paganism. And mother's not gonna tell him, and he's like a man of God. My dad is like that guy. Like he'll fast and pray and anoint you. Hey, when I was going Maju the first time I was flying out, he made me kneel and he put some olive oil on my forehead and he prayed for me. That's the guy we were talking about. So he'd probably pass out if he had to have been the other side. It's not like I'm a Satanist or anything, but he was gonna react the same way, so he doesn't know.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, let's say for example, your kid comes now. Your baby is Christian, for example, and you're a neo-pagan,
Right.
But your baby comes out and says, you know what, Mama, I want to be a Muslim.
Go for it.
You won't have an issue at all.
I loved Islam. As long as he can do the Jesus thing and figure it out. But it's because I was brought up as Satan. You can't forget what you can't just disregard the Trinity and go, probably it's just one of those things. No, it's stuck in your head. You can't just go and then you snap out of it. So if he wants to be a Muslim, I'll be like, dude, do you? As long as you're genuine and you're not being fake, you're not being hypocritical or proud and prideful and holding so much proud in it. I'm the best Muslim. No, you're not. You're just human and you make mistakes. Then go for it. Yeah.
Kuna mali nilikuwa ukimba. I saw you singing somewhere.
Where?
A cover of something. About tattoos and embracing your skin as a person. You know. Natulisikia vocals. We had some vocals somewhere.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. We had some vocals somewhere. So yeah. So what are you actually doing in regards
like music
to
wise?
Yeah.
Oh, so music. I have news. So,
give us the juice.
So now Jimmy Okungu, I don't know if you know him, as a producer, he reached out to me 2019. At the time I was kind of like putting myself out there again. I'd kind of lost myself in marriage, my first wedding, my first marriage. So I was coming out of my shell again. I started singing. I was like, I put the needs on public, the videos. I was like, I don't care. I'll get critiqued, I don't care. That's how Jimmy found me. He was like, dude, I like your voice. I was like, but it's not. I was like, it's not trained. He was like, I don't care. It's a very unique voice. Do you want to work on an album? I was like, first of all, who are you? So then he's like, oh, I'm this guy, I've worked with these people, you can look me up. I was like, ooh. I was like, you think a whole album though? Can we start with the one? He was like, no, a whole album. I was like, crap. I was like, okay, how is this going to work? I'm in the States, you're in Kenya. He's like, we can make it work via correspondence. The last, of course, then Corona happened, everything slowed down. Then I became, but we're like, okay, we booked tickets to Kenya, what do we do? He was like, okay, can you come by my studio? We record. So I actually recorded 2 songs. So it will be a single and a follow-up. One is a Kikuyu one, Kikuyu in English. The other is about my love story with my guy. So, and he's working on them right now as we speak. So I don't know if he's planning to release them like as a teaser. He's gonna wait until the whole album is compiled. The rest of the songs are gonna have to be worked on when I'm in Maju. So he sends me music, I do the melody, go to a studio, record, send him the music track. He mixes, masters, releases to Kenyan market. Yeah.
And are you the one who's gonna be writing the music, or
Actually, my guy actually helped me write a lot. Yeah, Scott he's a really good music. He's a writer. I come up with the tunes in my head, but I don't know what it's gonna. I'm like, I don't know what the words are.
I get you.
So he just tells me what he want to talk about it, and he just writes. Then we kind of complement each other that way. Then I'll fill in the two gaps, and so far it's been amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what kind of genre are we expecting from the Kenyan hippie?
Hey, everything. I know.
Combination.
I couldn't even tell you. Like, if you ask me the two I sang, I don't know how to categorize them. One is like Latin sounding, like a Latin sounding sound, like it's a party song. The other one is like a pop-ish, if you could, song, and it's even the message itself, the theme. I'm not even sure what it's going to be yet. Because one is about hustling and being a woman and being a girl, girl power, and take a break, hustle hard then play hard. The other one is here's how we met. And some of my love story has gone, and so it's gonna be interesting. But because I have an international market, something I need to keep, and it's a very unique aspect. So like, okay, I'm a Kenyan. I have a Kenyan audience. I also have an American audience who loves my Kenyan culture, but also who loves their own culture. So I have to incorporate so much in it. So we're thinking of doing a country song in there. We're gonna do some trance in there, some rock, maybe some Afro pop or something. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Combination of everything.
Everything. International.
Okay, now speaking of combinations, hapo ndani ya kila kitu. Considering the kind of content that you do on TikTok. And the kind of content that you put generally out in life.
Right.
Is your music going to entail cultural aspect of stuff and nationality and the education bit? It's just
that is
fun,
a good
hype,
question.
and
I'm wondering, but we'll see. If there's a way to make it cool and like into music, I will. Otherwise, I'll just kind of leave it alone. Because I see what you're saying. Ironically, that's why I'm African hippie on TikTok, because African hippie is very controversial, social political issues. Kenyan hippie on Instagram is just like a model who sings about random things, you know. So I have to find a way to combine the two. We might be singing about stuff like societal vices and trying to address them, and we are one. I might actually sing a song about humanity and coming together instead of tackling the issues. Just put out a positive message of togetherness. Like, we don't care what color you are, what race you are. We're the human race. Love each other. We might do something like that. I'm seeing that being. Oh, thank you for the idea. So that could be an aspect that ties that together. Yeah.
So 2022, inshallah, we wait
album
for.
Now, because I was like,
Okay, umefanya hivyo nikaona, are we gonna hear like some tunes nimetoka?
Oh no,
rap things
I don't rap. Oh, my dear, I don't rap. I do. Why? That would be a hot mess if I tried rapping.
Let's try. You've seen Kenyan artists coming out, eh?
I know,
yeah.
But that's their thing. I do not rap. I just sing.
So
we'll see. We've done 2 songs in the 8-song album. So the other 6 songs I want to chomoa like this. Now that my guy and I we need to do this, babe. So we really fired up to do it, and actually more now than, because I had myself singing. It's weird when you hear your own voice on Nini.
So true.
Because I'm like, I kind of sound like nice. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking forward to actually hearing the final product from Jimmy, which I was trying to call him, but I didn't get a hold of him. But I'll ask him, like, what are we looking at? But as far as Jimmy goes, it's been so amazing. He's introduced me to Stevens, actually, to Nameless, who endorsed me last time I was doing a tattoo modeling competition. It was really amazing. I know he helped me get where I need to go, organize some tuninis and radio stations to play my music. So I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully I don't disappoint Kenyans, because they love me and they're just waiting. Even my haters are just waiting.
Definitely. But you have something nice for them.
I have something nice for them.
Coming through. We are waiting. We are waiting. We are eagerly waiting.
Even me, I'm waiting. Hey.
Allah.
Like, come on, this thing to be out.
Shani mwenyewe.
Hey, Maze.
And do you feel like maybe at some point, kuingia kwa mziki, it's going to have like a certain effect or a certain impact on your life as a family woman, as a model,
as an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be a lot. Like Scott and I were talking. He was like, you have a lot on your plate. I'm like, I know. He's like, and then you have this. I'm like, I know. because I don't know how to slow down. I just, as long as I pace myself, I'm already doing so much. Maybe I have like my own business that's income generating right now, and so I'm trying to find a balance between all that stuff, you know, giving my clients what they need and then creating my own content, selling my own brand, and it's a lot, I won't lie. But I think it's that having the right support and just learning to pace yourself and not overdo anything. I think that's what I'm learning. So when the music comes out and it becomes more demanding, I'll just figure it out as it comes. You know, I don't know what it looks like because I can't say, oh, I'm gonna go on tour. With whom? Am I bringing the children? Am I gonna be walking on the road? Like, you know,
you'll cross the bridge when you get there.
When we get there,
right?
yeah.
But that is something beautiful, embracing that side. Now what about the dancing side? I've seen you also dance somewhere.
I can't do everything.
I've seen you, you're like a jack of all trades. So is also that going to be incorporated?
So yes, in my music videos, there's going to be some dancing. There's got to be maze. Hey, you know what I'm saying? There's got to be some dancing. So we'll figure out how we're going to do the video. I'm going to let someone figure that out, at least the ideas wise. Actually, so the song, I can give you a kidogo teaser. The second song is called Nedikoyako Kena. So it's like, hey, we're going to go out, we're going to have fun, drop the stress, get dressed, wear your shoes, we're going out. I can
just give us like something lyrical to just the teasing bit. Something small.
Okay, let's see. Hey, now I'm drawing a blank. Let me try and remember how it goes. If you wanna jump in. It's you guys will like it. And it's something about I don't even know the lyrics. Now that I'm on the spot, I'm like,
no, me, I'm waiting to just like
I
vibe
know.
here.
You're like a boy, start shimmying over here. I wish I could play it for you. But it's a very, very new song. Even I didn't know the song. I was like, Jimmy, can I check my notes? Because I think you don't know the lyrics to my song. But if you guys will get like a teaser. I wish I could send you a teaser. But it's very, the sound is very Latin. Almost like, think of like a tango. You know, it's like to mamas with the dresses and there's like a bull. For some reason, there's a bull. And you know, that kind of a setup is what I'm thinking. So because I really love Latin music and Latin dance, salsa, merengue, bachata. I'm semi-trained, professionally trained. I see myself incorporating that a lot. So because I love to dance, that's like my distressor. Outside of meditation, dancing is my distressor. I dance, I forget people exist. I'm in my own space and
forget your problems.
Exactly. Yep.
You said that you have actually trained for dancing.
Yep. I've actually done classes like
when was
Latin
that?
Dances. Hey, Maze, 2018, 19.
Simbali.
Simbali. I mean, I started dancing salsa when I was in Kenya, by the way. Tulienda kanisa one time, we were in church, and there was a concert of some sort. And I saw these guys dancing salsa. I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm learning that. Whatever that, what they were doing. So after the show, I went, I was like, excuse me, what were you dancing? It's called salsa. Where do I learn? Because at the time, we didn't have smartphones that you can go watch YouTube and teach yourself. Signed up for class, started dancing, went to Daystar. There was a class there, I took it. After Daystar, I just ended up going with the flow. In the States, because I lived in Florida, there's a very huge Latin culture there. So they actually have clubs that play Latin music and they train you to dance, sometimes for free, even or for really cheap. Took the classes. So I got better, and I'm even teaching my guys. Sometimes I'm like, hey, let's do some bachata. So we, you know, we katika, you know what I'm saying? So it's really, it's therapeutic. Yeah.
Well, that's beautiful. We are
Thank
seriously waiting to hear your music. But tell me, I wanted like us, the fans, because we're already like fans right now.
Yeah.
Give us a little bit of what Wakenya can actually do vocally. Mimi meona, wao labda wajaona.
Oh, mtaka niimbe nini? Do I need to sing a original song? Because I don't want to leak. I don't want to do leaking. I don't want to leak.
What's your favorite song?
I have a lot of nice songs I love.
Yenye unajua lyrics, you know, unaweza
Yenye
kuwa na
unajua
favorite
alafu niko
alafu.
Ordinary People by John Legend. I love that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Kenyan hippie.
On
Let's
the spot.
go.
We're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Take it slow. Oh, oh. This time we'll take it slow.
Okay, that is not it is not a miss. Now, Sasa, we are more curious to hear what you have in store for us. Have you gone to music school? Or it's self-taught?
Mimi, I imbied in choir in high school. Does that count?
Kind of.
That's when I got vocal training. Maze, everyone practices the shower. We have to practice the shower. Like, But any like formal training, no. no, I just go and I try to practice, and I'm like, oh, that one was scratchy, I'm gonna try again. But yeah, that's all I have. Also, by the way, my man sings. He doesn't know he sings well. He thinks he sings like a kukum. I think he sings really well. So that like a deep voice.
Sure, whoever he is just smiling right now. Too much praises going around. Too much praises
He's like,
going around.
yeah, I know, it's me. But yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of, I just love to sing. Like, I don't care if I sound like crap, I am singing, and you're going to listen. My poor boy, my child. Anyway, so yeah, but I do it mostly for fun. So for Jimmy to see, hey, I want you to sing on an album, I'm like, me? Why? He's like, because I love your voice. Why though? You know, it's like, because I just love it. Just trust me. I'm the producer. You know what I'm saying. Okay, whatever. If I fail, it's on you.
So it's not something that you saw at you ever do
I
in
never
your life
thought I
or
would
something
be
like that?
recording my own music. No, never. I never thought that. Oh, I'm becoming a musician. Nah. Because my parents in Kenya, they squish that dream at you. So going to sing where? Who's gonna pay you? I must stay in school.
So right now they don't have like an idea that you're actually hitting the studio.
No, mom knows. Mom knows now, but she also knows I have like my jobo that pays me. That's why I think she's relaxed. She's like, oh, she has worked in case this fails. African parents, you know. So yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
I dip my hand a bit everywhere. I also paint, and I sell my paintings now. So kidogo side gig. Masema kuyo, we have to hustle. So we like money. I mean, we all love money.
Everyone loves money.
Kikuyu really love.
Okay, now since you're like a jack of all trades,
Yeah.
you can paint, you can sing, you can dance, businesswoman. What is that one thing about Wakenya that people don't actually know?
Oh.
You can do. You're like, you know, not even your bay knows that. This is something I can do.
Is there anything really? Hey, I don't think it's anything people think I can't do that I know I can do. It's pretty much all out there. Yeah.
Wow. I'm still like a bit overwhelmed.
Why?
You're doing a lot.
Yeah.
You're so young and you're so ambitious.
Well, I'm
which is-
35, so I'm oldish. But okay, I'll accept the youngish one.
Okay, you're very young. I still refuse
My
to believe
body
that.
doesn't
And I'm
feel-
sure the fans are still gonna have like an.
You guys, I'm almost 40. 5 years away from 40.
Okay, what's the secret then?
Jesus and cocoa butter. I'm just kidding. Nothing. Shea butter, for real. Shea butter. Moisturize your skin every day, children. Every day. Every day, moisturize.
Okay.
And you drink water. I don't even drink that much water. Just, honestly, it's just genetics. So it's not like any genetics too.
Everything is okay.
Even too.
Everything is okay.
Bus.
And okay, now we go back to like the modeling side of things, and hapa nakuingiza nakuweka kwa limelight kidogo.
Okay.
Going through like your Instagram, there's some photos that you've posted in there. You know, and considering that you are a model, sometimes it might be showcasing maybe a piece of art,
Yes.
or a pose, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
With there are photos that you've taken. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Like photo shoot photos of my own.
No, your own photos. I
Oh,
think
okay.
photo shoots and your semi-nude,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
Have you like gotten criticism about that from either your fans or your significant other? Because it was like, no, if this is what you're doing, then
Then we can't.
yeah,
vibe.
we can. Yeah.
My fans, for the most part, know what I'm doing. That's why they follow me. I'm like, if you don't like what you see, Hebo, you hit that unfollow button, you know, because I'm like, then what are you here for? Because, you know, if I'm not for everyone, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. So if you like seeing these, then you follow. And they know that I do it with class. There's a very thin line between being ratchet and being classy. Like, I'm sure you can see, you can go through Instagram and you check your feed, you're like, that's distasteful. I know how to keep it tasteful because I'm not trying to show off my actual body, I'm trying to show off my art on my body. So I'm very strategic about the way I do it. Which is why when I ask for photographers, I'm very, very specific about who I work with. My mom is not, she is not for that.
Well, there's a squeezy wezi
Hata
jua Instagram kuna nini.
Wewe uko uchi, you're naked, mom, I'm in a bikini. Same difference. And then I was like, okay, mom, let's agree I'll never send you photos like that again. Because I was sending them, I was like, mom, oh my god, look how they came out so nice. Hey, I was like, you know what, mom, forget about it. You just ruined my entire day. I'm never showing you those. So when I send her photos, I have to be in clothes because I know she won't get it. My guy on the other hand doesn't really care. He loves them. His concern in the beginning was, hey, like, who are these guys you're working with? Like, you know, how can I trust them? And so we came up with an agreement. You know, if you're more comfortable with this, let's do this. Because at the end of the day, what I want is good work. I don't care if it's a rabbit taking the photos, as long as they come out nice. You know, as long as we work together and we vibe, then that's what we need. But he's very supportive. We've actually gone to photo shoots together where he's like in the background, taking some behind the scenes maninis, you know, so I can put them on Instagram and yeah.
You can literally say that your bae is your number one fan.
Maza is my number one fan. He better be. He better be my number one fan. So yeah, but he is.
Okay, tuliambia wase earlier tunakuja back to some of the things that you're conservative about, because earlier on you said I'm conservative about, we are conservative about some things and we are not conservative about some things.
Yes.
So what are some of the things that you are conservative about and why?
Yeah, family values. This whole hookup culture thing does not don't work for me. Like even as like a single, even when I was kind of liberal leaning at the time, that was never my thing. This whole it destroys relationships. It waters down the quality of a relationship. I'm just like, why do you guys do that? Like, do you feel awesome at the end of the day and go like, oh my god, I just hooked up with this guy and that guy and that guy? I'm like, no, it's an empty life you're living. What are you teaching your kids? And then what came out of that? Are you with anyone right now, or you're alone at night? Where are all your 40 guys? You know, so that's conservative. You know, that's family values. Freedoms, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion. That's why America is so different. That's why we are fighting to keep those freedoms, because the government is very, very adamant about trying to take that away. Freedom to protect yourself using a pew-pew is another one I'm very, very passionate about. So those are kinds of things conservatives fight for, and that's why I told we are crazy or anti-mask. It's not really about anti-mask, it's just the logistics behind the masking is not really making any sense to us.
No, that's another thing.
The right to refuse the vaccine.
Have you taken, you have traveled back to Kenya, and have you taken the vaccine?
Hell no. Nope.
Wow.
Yeah. No to the no, hell to the no. I'm not anti-vaccine, I'm anti-this vaccine until further notice. So when we grew up in Kenya, we got the Nini polio vaccine, we got the MMRs, measles. Why? Because they work. They do what they're supposed to do. This one, oh, you still get it. You'll just have fewer symptoms, but you'll get another variant. So that is holes in the air. So I'm not anti the vaccine. People can get it. It's up to you. It's like an individual. That's what freedom. That's what being an American is. Get it if you want. If you don't want, leave it alone. Don't force it on me though. Don't tell me, oh, you have to do this or else what? That's interfering with my freedoms. See the difference? I'm not saying don't get it. I'm saying you do you. You do you. Do what's best for you and your family. Leave me alone. Okay. And the mask is crap, but that's another issue.
Another one. Those are your beliefs and we respect it, huh?
Right?
Yeah, we respect it. Another one?
What else? I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
The main ones.
No, to the things
freedom,
now.
you know, speech, protection of you and your family, freedom to choose who you want to love, freedom to marry who you want to marry, whether it's a potato, a person, gay, being, freedom to be whatever sexuality you want to be. Just not pushing stuff on people. That's my issue. You be you, do you, be proud and gay, but don't push it in my face. It doesn't make me anti-LGBT, it doesn't make me homophobic. It's just your beliefs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't force your viewpoints on other people. You know, be you. You can share them, but say that's my opinion, that's my value. You have your own values, live your own life. That's what I've been pushing for this whole time.
Okay. And you know, I'm still gonna include the aspect of your kids in that. Are you gonna instill all that in your kids? And tell them your belief. Stick to that. If you find hookups are okay with you,
oh no, go
ahead and do that.
Because hookup culture is never going to be a positive thing. It can be positively spun, however you want to spin it, but it's a detriment to society. Let's just face it. So I'll be like, you know, you could hook up and oh my god, I'm a sexual empowerment. Yeah, but you're gonna feel like crap afterwards. So you lie to yourself all you want, but you know the truth. So I'm still gonna instill them in the same values in the kids, same exact values. At the end of the day, if he wants to be nyangau and do his own thing, that's on him or that's on her. But they know better. It's like they were brought up. Okay, my mom was like, oh my god, you were Kenya, you went and you were. I was like, mom, the things you taught me, I've never forgotten. Even if I act cray sometimes, I've not forgotten what you taught me. Just trust me, I know my boundaries. And then she's like, okay, you're right. I'm like, plus mom, I'm 35 now, so like, cut it out. You know, but I'll always be her child and her little
definitely.
girl. So there's that kind of issue. But I'm trying so hard to not do that with my kids because our parents are go overbearing. I'm trying to be, and then at some point I'll be like, just let go. I've taught you what you needed to learn. Now you do you. Please don't destroy yourself.
There's one thing, as we wind up, that you've been talking about in your content, and it's in regards to people actually educating themselves about the African culture and about different cultures.
Yep.
before they actually
Embrace them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Is that something that has a personal effect on you, or is it something that you've seen people are like, "Ah, you guys are just talking about Africa, oh, Africa is this, Africa is that, and there's nothing to show for it? Is it personal or driven by like other people?
So it's a two-prong. So one, it does affect me personally because I am Kenyan. So if someone says, "Oh my God, I want to go to Kenya," I've actually gotten messages. This was last year on TikTok. I got a message from a guy saying, "Because of you, because of what you've shared about Kenya, I actually want to go." He told me I had a chance to go last year on a contract. I refused because I was afraid. I didn't know what to expect. All I know is what I've seen on TV. CNN shows us all these things and bombings. And he was like, "But because of you, Ashley will be taking that contract this year." And I'm like, you know, I mean, will I benefit personally? No.
No.
But will Kenya benefit? Yeah. Tourism is boosted because of me. You know, I've sent so many people to Etsy sellers because there's the same lady I buy waist beads from. I go, "You want waist beads? Go to this lady. This is her username." Is it benefiting me personally? No. It's benefiting a Kenyan? No. So you see, there's that aspect. And even as Africa as a whole, I feel I'm educating people. So I may not know, oh, I'm gonna go visit Nigeria, but I know I'm changing a life. I'll be like, "You want to embrace your culture, you want to embrace your heritage, start here." "Oh my God, thank you. My dad used to be, apparently I learned he was Kenyan. How do I learn to embrace my culture?" I teach them. "Oh my God, I made ugali and it come out." I'm like, I feel so happy. Just the fact that I'm sharing. It's a wealth of knowledge that holding on to will not benefit me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Most
yeah.
definitely. Okay, so what are Kenyan hippies fans
Yes.
waiting for from you, apart now from the music side of things? Kuna muziki inatokea.
Kuna inatokelezea soon. Just hang in there, guys. Just hang in there. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna see where my tattoo modeling takes me. Now I might have to take a break because people are growing inside me. One person, not people. Hey, but the biggest project is the music. That's the one I really want to focus on. Because like I said, when I heard it, I had myself singing. I was like, "Oh my God, I can do this. I can do this." And the encouragement you have. So I'm focused on that. That's maybe my number one priority. But they can keep expecting more photos, photo shoots, more pew-pews.
What about the tattoos?
Oh, those
are you done? I'm
also
still continuing.
On hold. You're never done until all the space squishes. I still have a lot of space. So clearly, it's not done. I actually got my fiance to get a tattoo. We got matching tattoos. So he has his first tattoo because of me. I'm a bad influence. I started to
Let's not comment on that.
Hey, so can't be corrupted because of me. But yeah, mostly art and music. Yeah.
Okay, so if people wanna, because you know now this is a platform for you to say, "I do this."
Yes.
The camera is there.
Okay.
Market yourself.
Marketing 101.
Let's go.
If you want to find me online, I'm on Instagram. I do the social media handles.
Yes.
Okay. Instagram at Kenyan_hippie. TikTok African_hippie. Only if you like controversial things, otherwise stay away. And then Facebook Kenyan_hippie. And Twitter, which is probably dead, so just avoid that one altogether. Those are my main ones. YouTube Kenyan hippie as well.
So we should also be expecting like more YouTube content.
I think more YouTube content. I know I've been slacking because of the time. I need an editor. I'm only one person and I do 27 people's things. So by YouTube, I should work kidogo bidii there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, a final thing. What does Njoki do business-wise?
Hey, mazeka hustle. So
apart
I have
from
a business.
modeling.
Yeah, apart from so and I my bills. What pays my bills? So I'm a freelancer. So there's this website called Upwork. So I started my freelancing career. I meet all kinds of clients from all over the world, really. Europe, Americas, nini. And I basically do marketing for them, social media management, content management, public relations, project management. There's a lot of bunch of things. Admin stuff, support. And that's what pays my bills. I work with a few clients at a time. Come on, a PR mogul. Then I have a guy in Europe. He's just a businessman, mostly small business owners. And that's I just help them manage their business so they can grow their businesses. They focus, the operational stuff is left to me. They focus on the growth part. Yeah, and then we put some money like this. And then we invest in the music.
Muhimu. Okay, so final word to that camera to your fans and people who are interested in African culture and culture generally in the whole world.
Right. So I would say, my fans, thank you so much for the support. Over the years, it's been years. I can't believe it's been years. Everyone who likes, comments, shares my stuff, I really appreciate you. Thanks for hanging in there with me as I'm working on my album. It's taken too long, but it's happening. And then as for cultural stuff, culture is meant to be shared. Culture is always meant to be shared, not exploited, not appropriated, but shared and appreciated. So that's all you need to remember. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Haribu,
turning up.
thank you for having me.
It's been such a pleasure having you.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to having you again
Me too.
when you release the
It
music.
might be on Skype though, but we'll see.
But I will have you.
Yeah,
You know,
bora
on
yeah,
music.
exactly.
Okay, so guys, that has been Wakenya. And I hope that you've learned one or two things about your culture,
Yeah.
about life itself, and about Wakenya herself, the Kenyan hippie. So you guys, watch out for her music. Anakujana ubaya. Ubaya.
Fujo.
Sindio? But anyway, until next time, keep it KTN News, entertainment all the way. Once again, your host, Tamara Patience. Stay safe and we love you. Bye.
Toodles.